Hello and welcome. My name is Danielle, and today we have a special guest with us. We are here with Michelle Joy to discuss the release of Stories of the Goddess Divine Frequency Keepers. She's a collaborative writer in the upcoming book, and just to give you all a brief description of what this book is about, it is to share with those who are on this beautiful path around the world of the Great Awakening. So, women around the world are on a quest to rediscover their inner magic after years of suppression and subjugation. Our mothers and our grandmothers were forced to hide gifts to survive in the patriarchal society, but now it's time to break free and claim our rightful place. We are the keepers of our ancestral heritage, charged with the upholding and honor of our families' tribes. So it's time for us to reclaim our bloodlines from any tyranny and take our rightful place as leaders and visionaries. The divine feminine calls upon us to serve as her champions, using our hearts and our wombs to create a better world and love in integrity. Within each of us lies the power of the goddess. So, waiting to be awakened by these unique light frequencies, we emit and now we share with those in this chapter. So, we are all living prayers, and here we are to make a difference in the world. The world needs your magic. We need you, sister. So, now's the time, and we're here to rise together and sharing our gifts with the world. So, today we are going to be sharing with all of you here, Michelle Joy. I want to welcome you, Michelle. It's such an honor to have you in this collaborative book of the empowerment of the divine feminine soul tribe that we have around the world.
Thank you so much, Danielle. It's an absolute blessing to be here. I've been looking forward to this, just to get to connect with you and also to share with all the beautiful women who are going to be listening to this video.
Yeah, it's such an honor, and it's always so peaceful to connect with our sisters and like-minded. So everybody just relax and let's enjoy. I have such an excited inner little Danielle ready to hear the wisdom that you have to share. So, can you tell with us and share your journey to connecting with the goddesses and what it's been like for you?
Yeah, well, it's been a long journey connecting with the goddess. When I was younger, I'd say, in my 20s, some 20 something years ago, I was embarking on a spiritual journey into paganism and Wicca and witchcraft. And my connection with the goddess really began then. But the difference was that at that time, the connection was very external.
Mm.
I kind of perceived the personification of the goddess outside of myself. But as I've evolved and as I did more inner work and more healing, I've come to understand that for me personally, the connection with the goddess needs to be an internal relationship.
Mhm.
So I needed to connect to that divine aspect within myself. And
Mm.
I sort of came to understand or understand, if you like, that all the goddesses have a personification that we can relate to because we are them and they are us at some multidimensional level, at some timeline, and we don't have to attach too closely with it, but we know that we hold a piece of that divinity within us because we are goddesses as well.
Beautifully said. And how has
Yeah.
embodying this essence of the divine feminine impacted your life and currently upstairs?
Well, it's been very healing actually because it's connected me to work more with the divine mother energy. As a young person, I was raised by my dad and I was very in my masculine. I had to learn that as a survival skill. So when I connected with the divine mother energy, it actually really helped me heal my mother wound at a deep level, which I think healing our mother and father wounds is a very important part of connecting with the divine within ourselves. And I came to understand that we all have a connection with the overarching, this beautiful feminine energy of the divine mother goddess. So whether we have a great relationship with our mother or we don't, we all have this divine mother element that we can connect to. And it was very healing for me. And then I sort of delved deeper and I understood that our mothers and fathers in this lifetime are just experiences and they're learning and they're evolution, but it's God source in whatever way, like Mother, Father, God, that we can connect to. and that feels very supportive. And it also it informs my spiritual work with others, and also when I keep doing the healing work of myself within as well.
Yeah, I like how you're sharing this understood and connection with the Mother, Father, God. And just like I said in the beginning, unexpectedly to myself when I said, my little Danielle is excited to hear, because there is a form of support and comfort when you start doing this type of work. And it definitely helps you to realize you're not alone. So, can you offer any of the beautiful women who are listening, and men, it's not just for women, um, any advice who are just starting out on their journey to connect to the goddesses?
Yeah, well, I would say, I would suggest that you could make sure that you connect and find her within, because we can spend a whole great deal of time, years, in fact, finding her without, but find her within, and that is via the self-love journey, I think, which is probably the most important journey, the most important healing part of the journey that we can do. Um, so when I'm doing mentoring and healing with clients, I break up self-love into three sort of compartmentalizations, if you like, three arenas, very holy arenas. And this is what everybody works on when they work with me. And it's self-respect, self-care, and self-compassion. And they all lead to that genuine sort of self-love, which enables us to feel that we are divine feminines, and we've all got that energy and we can tap into that. So find it within. You don't need to find it without. You can play with it without, but it's always going to be there within. And so self-love finds that goddess within each of us.
Ah, beautifully said. I agree. Now, how can you integrate your feminine power and wisdom into your personal and professional life?
Yeah, now I'm really big on integration, because we can say a lot of things, but we have to make the changes within the world. So um, for me, this has been a big part of my healing as well. I had to sort of recognize that instead of berating myself for being in my masculine when I was younger, is to really know and honor that we are both the sacred feminine and the sacred masculine. And of course, as a feminine vessels in this lifetime, we hold more of that feminine energy. We do, but we do contain both. And sometimes we have our sacred masculine, sometimes we have our sacred feminine, sometimes we're in our wounded masculine and our wounded feminine. So I think it's really important, as we're integrating and coming to connect with that feminine power, is to recognize when we are out of balance,
Mhm.
when we're more in our masculine or when we're more in our feminine, when we're in our wounded or our divine aspects. And relationships of all kinds will be a mirror for this. They'll show us where we're out of balance, and we can assess it and feel in. And also, I have to, say that we have to be aware that when we're responding in our wounded feminine aspect, because this is sort of showing us where our healing has not been resolved, and no one is fully resolved. We're all a work in progress. So that's, it's absolutely fine. So yeah, starting with that awareness, with honesty. The divine feminine is expansive, she's fluid, she's intuitive. She can't be afraid to deeply feel, but she doesn't need to project what she feels onto others, because that's the wounded part. So go in, feel your emotions. Don't be afraid of that. um, Become super self-aware and tuned into the body, but don't get analytical about it. So these are the things that I've learned on my journey, and what I then empower other women to do.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing your wisdom on that. Can you share your thoughts and feelings on the role of the divine feminine in creating a better world for humanity?
Super important. I mean, it's super important for the divine masculine too. I feel like they have an equal role,
Mhm.
because a lot of the collective is operating in the wounded aspects. So as divine feminines, when we connect more deeply to that and less to our wounded, we come to understand that we're nurturers. Okay, so we're beings who lead with the heart. It doesn't mean that we're not cerebral and intellectual, but we are leading with the heart. And we need to support other feminines and not be in a constant competition with other women and men, because there's both been going on, definitely. So we cheer each other on, women on women. We support each other, and just as the divine masculines, there's a big movement for men's healing going on now. I love seeing that, where divine masculines are supporting other divine masculines. Very important. And just for women to create these sanctuaries, these nourishing spaces with each other. Like, the spiritual community is really getting on board this. We're allowing men to come into the spiritual world in whatever way they want to, but then we're having women's circles too, which is beautiful, with cacao ceremonies and, you know, connecting to our intuition, and it's beautiful. And I think that is where we're going to create a better world. No more competition, no more judgment. Let's just honor each other. We're all different, but we're all also have similar aspects of the goddess within us as well.
Oh, I believe in that wholeheartedly as well. I love what you're touching on. These are very important. This is why you're in the book. You're a frequency keeper that knows the codes that are needed at this time, and that you're implementing not only through your words, but in your actions and sharing with everyone. So thank you for playing your part. Yes, I honor you, sister. You're so beautiful. Hmm. Okay, so how do you see the goddesses awakening and rising in the world today? And I know you slightly touched on that, but could you maybe dive a little deeper into maybe how you see that for us sisters?
Yeah, for sure. Well, it's definitely, yeah, like what I was talking about in that previous question that you asked me. But I think we have to really disconnect from all the gender wars, both with other women and with other men. And we also have to come to understand or understand that men too have been programmed. So a lot of men are operating in their wounded aspects. The inversions of the matrix has conditioned them, if you will. So hold our hands out to other women, also hold our hands out to other men and allow them to rise. It is happening more and more. But another big part is what we're seeing is more people are doing their healing of their mother wounds and their father wounds. Because when we heal those, then we come into the divine aspects. We have to forgive our parents. We have to realize that it's all a soul experience, and this is all a way for us to experience the evolution of the ascended masters and the gods and goddesses that we are. So this world, we're not victims to the world. We're actually playing an awakening game, if you will, and we have to just forgive and make peace and unify.
Beautifully said. And what do you hope that readers will take away from your chapter in the stories of the goddess divine frequency keepers?
Well, I hope that I've written an empowering chapter. That's what I was really called to write. So I've always been really passionate about following the soul's way, the soul's journey, the soul's call, even when I was a little girl. So I hope that readers will feel empowered to do that, to find the divine within them rather than without them, and also to bridge distortions that they hold with the masculine energy, both within and without too. We need each other, men and women. We need each other in equal parts, women and women, men and men. And when we come together, we have this divine harmony, this force of divine love with the electro and the magnetic into unification. So I have written a little bit about that. So I hope that readers will take that empowerment from my chapter.
I'm sure they will. I'm very excited to read it myself.
Mm.
Now, how do you feel about the overall experience of being a part of the stories of the goddess? And this is a book project too, of a leadership group of women who are in their role of leadership and specifically working with product publishing house.
It's been a very easy journey. It's been a very fluid journey. Rada herself is a beautiful sister. She's a pleasure to work with. I did come in a bit late, and being in Australia, sometimes it was really hard for me to make all the meetings and everything that isn't on offer, but there's a lot on offer. So if it's been a process of improving your writing. It's a writing program more than anything, as well, a supportive writing program. So I think it's a very well put together program. And I know that if I was in the States, for example, or I wasn't so busy at the moment, I would have been able to take part in a lot more things. But it's been incredible, and I hope to do more with this publishing house in the future. 100%.
That's beautiful. What advice would you have for other authors that might be looking to collaborate with a publishing house and to get their work published?
Well, I mean, I'd suggest starting with the multi-author book. This is my second now, and I must admit that it was so much, I had so much more confidence this time than the first. Um, if you feel like you've got something to say in your heart, but you're a bit nervous to step out on your own, you start with the multi-author book. These programs are super supportive, and like I said, it's a writing program. There's webinars to join. The women are supporting each other, so that way you're not on your own, and you can build confidence and hone your skills as well as a writer before you venture out onto your own, if that's something that you'd want to do as well.
Lovely. Well, thank you so much. And what are your specific offerings and how can people find you?
Well, I'm in Australia. I'm in Queensland, Australia, but my services are online as well as in person. I've always done the online stuff. In fact, I have a lot of global clients, and I love that. I love working with people from all around the world. I'm an energy worker, an integration mentor, and more recently, I've become a rebirthing breathwork facilitator, which I'm passionate about. It's very healing. So I support others to release what's keeping them stuck. So energy blocks, emotions, process everything, and come out of a victim state of oppression and really rise into their soul being, into their divine being. And I can be found. My website is Sovereign Souls, so SOVEREIGN Souls, SOULS.com.au. All of my social media handles are there, my contacts, so that can be found there. I am in the process of probably in the next 6 months, changing my domain, but that's what I am at the moment, and I'll always redirect anyway if I do make any changes. So yeah, happy to hear from anybody who wants to talk more about what I do, and some of the programs I have could combine all of the aspects of my work as well. So they're really exciting.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Michelle. That's such an honor to meet you through this project, and I'm happy that we were able to connect today. And be sure, everyone, to find Michelle Joy through Stories of the Goddess, Divine Frequency Keepers. We'll be sure to link all the information down below everywhere that we share. So, once again, thank you, Michelle, and I look forward to the release and having your voice shared with the world.
Thanks, Danielle. I look forward to reading yours as well. Beautiful. And thanks for this connection. Much appreciated.